everybody's President here, also known as Godzilla Hawk of this channel, and I'm your two-time KOTA World Champion. Now, if you don't know why I don't have the championship with me, it's because my dogs wrecked the logo, the front logo, so I gotta make a new logo. So, a new logo, sorry, I almost said logo. So, I'm going to take in some time, hopefully maybe this weekend, to come up with a new logo for the championship. But for now, I'm not going to have it with me. And besides, I don't want to always bring out all the time. I mean, you guys already know I'm the champion, unless something happens, which never will. But anyways, I figured I'd talk about something that is wrestling related, because there's some things I want to talk about in wrestling. So we'll start with the more simpler stuff. We'll start with Big Daddy V, also known as Viscera, who just passed away. I believe it was last night. I'm going to be honest, I was never a Big Daddy V fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say he was the best thing ever, but I did respect him for doing what he did and liking what he did, and that was being a wrestler. So I respect him for that, and it is very sad to see someone like this pass away. I mean, last year we had Paul Bearer pass away, and I believe Doink the Clown passed away too. Actually, at the beginning of this year, Mae Young passed away. So, like I said, even though I might not have been a fan of every single wrestler or manager or whatever, at least I have some respect. At least I respected them for what they did. It's going to be the same thing with Del Rio. Even though I hate Del Rio, when he dies, I'm going to say, you know what, I respect him because he did what he did. He liked doing it. So, yeah, so don't think I'm cold-hearted or anything, but just hearing about this kind of changes my mood sometimes. It makes me feel, I don't know what the word is. It makes me feel a little bit more emotional in a sort of way. So, yeah. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Undertaker returning. Now, there have been lots of rumors about Hulk Hogan and Undertaker returning, which I believe next Monday on the 24th, which is right after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Excuse me. So yeah, so they're supposed to return on the 24th after Chamber, and now there are rumors saying that Undertaker is going to be returning as his American Badass gimmick. Now, if this is the case, I think this is awesome, because if Undertaker's going to retire, I think his last match ever should be as the American Badass gimmick. Because then I can do another video, I could do a Who's Better video or whatever on something like, what did I like better, American Badass or Phenom Taker? I could do something like that in the near future if you want me to. But yeah, I just like Badass Taker more, and it's been a long time since we've seen him. I think the last time we saw him was at Survivor Series, I think 2003, I believe, in the Barry Alive match with Vince McMahon. That was the last time we saw him. Keep in mind, that was 2003, and this is 2014, so it's been a very long time since we've seen Badass Taker. So I would definitely like to see Badass Taker return. I think that would be very cool to see. Like I said, I could talk more about this, but I prefer waiting for a Who's Better video to do that. So I won't get into much depth, but those are the rumors now spreading that Badass Taker could return on the 24th. We just have to wait and see. Like I said, if he does come, awesome. If he stays at the Phenom, I'm not going to be surprised. But in all honesty, I think he would be Badass Taker. Now let's move on to, let's see here. I'm trying to think. Like I said, I didn't rehearse at all for this. I just came out and, you know what, I'll talk about this. I want this video to get checked out by WWE officials. like the WWE company. I want them to actually watch this video, mainly this portion. You have to realize, this is directly to every WWE member, not just the roster, but the actual company itself. To Vince McMahon, to Triple H, Stephanie, everybody. You gotta realize something, WWE, that your company was one of the greatest and longest running shows in history. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. Whether they're little kids or older, they loved it. It was awesome. Then you took a step further and made it to the Attitude Era. And you know what? That brought Reigns high. And that made your company look even better. Then what did you do? You changed it to the Ruthless Aggression Era. It was still awesome. Personally, that was my favorite, was the Ruthless Aggression Era, but that's besides the point. But it was still awesome. I mean, it wasn't pitch perfect, but it was still awesome to see. And then you move on to the so-called Universum era, or I like to call it the PG era, where everything is tamed now. You went from having blood, barbed wire, flaming tables, bikini contests, broad panty matches, also women's matches like hardcore matches and steel cage matches with women involved. You had swearing, you had amazing feuds and build-ups, and you had really personal and great storylines, and you're not really using them, or you're just rehashing the same feuds. Prime example, Randy Orton and John Cena. You had Randy Orton attack John Cena's father again. They already did that, I believe, back in 2007. Why did you need to rehash that? There was no need to. Like seriously, you couldn't think of anything else to do for their feud, so you had to just have Randy Orton attack his father. Like seriously, like at least what I would have done is have Orton attack Nikki or something, like Nikki Bella from the back. At least it's somewhat something different. It's not his father, Cena's father getting attacked again, but it's Cena's girlfriend. So I would have done something like that, or go to his house and wreck everything, and then I just don't know, but that was stupid because it's already been done before. No one cared. I didn't watch the match because I didn't want to watch it. It was Orton and Cena. No one cares about that match. No one cares about that feud anymore. Nobody, because it's been overdone, overused. It should have just ended back in 2009 when they were still doing their awesome feud. And that's when Orton was awesome. He was a dominant heel. He had legacy. They had great feud. They had good matches. And now you're trying to rehash it. Then you have a TLC match where there's a million botches. There's shitty feuds and all this stuff. It's like, we don't care. But you guys are praising over ratings so much, but you gotta realize it's not just about ratings, it's also about your fans. Another prime example, Daniel Bryan. I consider him the Stone Cold of the current era. And I'm not, being overrated, I'm not hawking Daniel Bryan's Hogan or anything, I'm stating facts here. Daniel Bryan is literally the Stone Cold. He's getting yes chants. He's on the newspaper. He's getting on cover of a magazine. Whenever he comes out, people are 100% behind him. They're always chanting yes, yes, yes. Arenas implode and it just starts chanting yes, yes, yes. You always, even during a match, you're always chanting yes, 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 or Daniel Bryan, or American Dragon, or stuff like that, because the fans want to see Bryan win the championship. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. He actually had a good run with it, a good 4 months. I think ever since that day he lost the world title, that's when the fans got really behind him. When they started just chanting yes, 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 and starting to get behind him, whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, face or heel. It didn't matter. They liked Daniel Bryan, and they still do. So you finally give him the WWE Championship, and then what did you do? You had Orton cashing his Money in the Bank contract on Bryan, screwing him out of the title. Then what happens? You have Randy Orton hold it for less than a month, and then he loses it to Bryan. Only Bryan to have it for 24 hours before he just got stripped. And then what did you do? Then ever since then you've been screwing Bryan. When you're screwing with Bryan, you're not just screwing one guy, you're screwing your fans. And the fact you guys brought back Batista back into the Royal Rumble, you had him win it, is stupid. No one cared. Everyone was excited when Batista came back, but they don't want to see him win the Rumble. They didn't want to see Batista. They didn't want to see Sheamus. They didn't want to see Orton or anybody. The guy they wanted to win more than any other superstar was Daniel Bryan. And you have to realize that's why CM Punk left the company. He didn't leave because he didn't care about it. He hated his fans. He left because WWE, you are in a real shithole. And I'm actually trying to speak up for myself because this is bullshit. This really is, because you're proving to everyone that you don't care about your fans, and all you care about is ratings. And I'm willing to bet when the WWE Network comes out, they're not even going to focus on the current product. They're probably going to just focus on like the past. Punk leaving, the reason why he left, like I said, was because you guys kept on screwing talent over. Like Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Christian, CM Punk himself. I think I might have said Daniel Bryan. Like, you're screwing all these young athletes that could be something big. You're not using them right. You just like give them a random title, title match, and then you give them a title randomness, you give them a month or two reign, and then they just don't give them the title anymore. Again, prime example, Christian, when he first won the World Heavyweight Championship. He waited 17 long years, and what happened? Next night on SmackDown, he loses it to Orton. Then what happened? It took him 3 months to finally get it back at Money in the Bank, and he won by disqualification. Really? And then you had him lose back in the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam, against Orton. And then ever since then, Christian never got a title shot, and saying he was always getting buried by Orton or Sheamus or somebody else. Look at Dolph Ziggler. He worked his ass off as well. He won the World Heavyweight Championship, but he only had for like 15-20 minutes before he lost to Edge. Which, to be honest, I was never a Dolph Ziggler fan back then in the first place. I never was. So I was happy Edge won it back. But you gotta realize Dolph Ziggler was he was like a Zack Ryder in way back in 2011. He was over. Everybody was watching him. They chanted his name. Now you're treating Dolph Ziggler like a jobber, like a Zack Ryder. Zack and Dolph should be main event superstars, not jobbers. That's my complaint. That's why I did that jobber rant in WGS. I hate jobbers because you have this big roster. You have this huge roster and you can use all your superstars and you're not using all of them. You're only picking out the guys you think look good. And not what the fans think. And that really upsets me. And like I said, if I were Punk and this was legitimately happening, I'd walk out too. I don't blame Punk. Because your company sucks right now. Because at least TNA somewhat cares about their fans. WWE doesn't get two shits. They don't give two shits about their fans. They used to, but not anymore. Now it's all about ratings. And if it's going to end up being Orton and Batista at Mania, I'm willing to bet $100 that your crowd is going to be chanting boring or we want Bryan, or we want Punk, or we want Taker, or we want Christian, or we want Ziggler, or we want Ryder, they're going to be chanting a bunch of random shit. So WWE, I say, get your head out of your asses, because this needs to stop. There's time to save WrestleMania. And that is to start listening to the fans and give them what they want. Have some actual stuff that people give a shit about. We don't want to see Santino and Emma in this stupid dance shit. Like, how's this a dance? It's like a retired version of disco. Like, seriously, just... that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And no one cares about that. No one cares about Orton being champion. No one cares about Del Rio or Batista or anybody. They care about guys like Bryan, CM Punk, Christian, Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Damian Sandow, Cody Rhodes. Those are the guys that care about. Antonio Cesaro. I'll give you credit for that, though, at least you're using Cesaro right. You're giving him that good push. And I will be honest, like, I'll give you applause for that, because you're actually doing something right with Cesaro. But for the most part, you're not using all your talent. You're just treating them like garbage. Hell, even at Money in the Bank, I was expecting, like, oh, I don't know, actual talent. Not most of them being Breakfast Club members for the Raw Money in the Bank. Like, seriously. All of them were literally all-stars. I don't want to see all-star match. I want to see a couple all-star guys, but mostly like mid-carders or jobbers. And then you can push them to becoming future world champions. That's what Money in the Bank should be. Money in the Bank is to create stars. Not make stars bigger stars. Prime example, John Cena winning Money in the Bank. There was no excuse. But then again, I heard rumors that it wasn't even supposed to go to John Cena. So that begs the question, was that supposed to go to Big Show? Was that supposed to go to Chris Jericho? I don't know. Randy Orton, no excuse. He was already a big star. If anything, they should have given it to Christian, because he's worked his ass off the most and rarely gets any credit. And for some reason, Vince doesn't like Christian for some odd reason. I don't know why. But he sees something in Orton and Cena, but not in Christian, which really pisses me off. So if you, WWE, I'm going to be sending this to NoDQ.com, and hopefully they could get this message out to WWE, because I actually want them to watch this video carefully, because I'm not trying to insult WWE. WWE's already insulting themselves, because their product is not doing good. And the only way it's going to get good is if they start listening to the fans and start take a risk. You guys got really nothing to lose. If you're already going to do Orton and Batista, your company's already dead. So why don't you, like, at least put Bryan in the mix? Listen to the fans, and honestly, listen to the fans. This is going to be your 30th anniversary of WrestleMania. And if you have the main event Orton and Batista, like I said before, no one will give a shit. No one will. In fact, either people will be bored, they probably just leave the arena. No one cares. So if you get this message, if you even watch this video, remember, I'm not insulting you. I'm trying to help you be a better company. So don't have this video removed. Don't try to do any bullcrap, because I'll just prove to everyone that you hate your fans indefinitely. If you remove this video, that means you're proving to the entire world, to the internet and the world, that you don't care about your fans. You want to prove them wrong? You listen to this video and you start thinking of, well, what should we do then? We gotta listen to the fans then. So what would the fans want? And tell you for a fact they would want to see Bryan in the WWE World Title picture and win it. That's what I would like to see. That's all I gotta say. I got really nothing left. So take care, all my peeps. And next video, I don't know when the next video will be. Maybe it'll be Elimination Chamber review. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But besides that, take care.